Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Garden State Hip Hop Hour. It's your boy Rich, and today we got Kori Octoberr, the star of this interview, Turtle, the producer of this interview, and then, of course, Dom's in the building. I didn't really have no for Dom's because he wasn't on the album. I was surprised. But, you just dropped your project on Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Code Orange?
Yes.
Code Orange. Why Code Orange? Because you told me your color is green.
Okay, but yeah, no, I don't know. I just feel like Code Orange, I came up with the title before, like, I started making any of the songs, but it just felt like a bop. Like, it just seemed like a whole mood. Like, and especially, like, it's Halloween. Like, everything's, like, orange and everything else, so why not,
So you were planning in advance for it to drop on Halloween?
Well, not necessarily, but it's Thanksgiving, you know, like, or just anything in general after this time. It's definitely, like, in that, color range. So, I don't know. I'm really about, like, the moods of color. So, I was really into pink last time with 40 ounces. So, this time I was really into, like, orange.
Okay. And it's only 6 tracks. How come you chose to go with a shorter project?
I mean, the last track... Well,
it was 4. It was 4, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, it's like, you got to give me some time to, like, bring up my catalog because it's only the second EP that I've released, like, publicly. So, I just wanted to give a little taste of it, I guess. I think it was enough, No,
yeah, I was just asking because, sometimes people drop longer projects, shorter projects. I didn't know if you had, like, a reasoning behind it.
Well, no, not
other
necessarily.
Than just, you were just trying to put out the best music, quality over quantity.
I definitely wanted to make it more than 4 tracks, so, yeah.
And what was the big difference making this album from 40 Ounce to now with this Code Orange?
Well, 40 ounces was definitely something that was supposed to be just 4 different flavors. Like, it wasn't really supposed to be a cohesive project, whereas, like, Code Orange definitely is. Like, it's definitely meant to be listened all the way through, They're, like, I put it in a certain order for a reason, Not necessarily, like, there's a precise reason, but just the flow of everything. Whereas 40 ounces was definitely, like, here's a little bit of pop, here's a little bit of, like, a European feel, like, here's, like, a club track, like here's like a barbecue track, so I was trying to give different flavors, whereas this one, it was a whole mood. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And if a stranger came up to you and said, tell me what song I should listen on here to draw me into the rest of the album, what's the song?
All of them. I like.
But you only got one shot. In life sometimes we only get one shot. So if someone came up to you, like, I heard you make music.
Swing sets, lights, like, fake. Rose gold, like.
I was just trying to see because sometimes you only got one shot. So I was seeing if you had a favorite song or a song that you'd recommend to a brand new person to Kori Octoberr.
That was the point of making it 6 tracks. So each one of them was heavy hitters. Like that was the whole, that was the whole point. Like I wasn't trying to put a weak track on there,
All right, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you only got one shot. I was just seeing what would be the shot for you, but I guess it's the whole album.
Well, okay, fine. I would say fake.
Oh, okay. It's people never want to answer the question, like, but sometimes we only got one shot. You got to get people to listen. What song is Kori?
Well, fake. I mean, what song defines me?
Well, not defined you, but what song?
Well, fake then, because that one is the most like emotional. I feel like on this project. So.
Okay. And you had Turtle here produce the whole album. Mm-hmm. So how'd that? Well, obviously he produced Dom's last album, and you guys kind of all rock together. So, but was that the decision? Like, he's part of the team, or
what? Turtle
for Turtle to produce
the
whole album?
It's like a collaborative thing. Like it's like he definitely had a much of a role as I did. Like you can't have a whole entire album or EP without the beats, without the person recording it, without the person mixing it, and mastering it. So, yeah.
Okay, so what was the connection between you two? Did you have an idea and you were just relating to him, or was he just trying to?
Well, he sent me the beats, and then I pretty much just collaborated. Like I dipped into my catalog of what I have already and just compiled like an album or EP.
Okay, so again, like just you guys were in the room the entire time putting it together.
What do you mean? Like as far as like putting the beats?
The album together, yeah.
Well, no, like I told like he sent me the beats out of like months of him sending me beats, and then I decided out of those what I was going to choose for the album, and then when we got together to record it, that's when
Okay, how long did it take you to put this whole album together?
I don't know.
February, March.
I guess I don't know.
Like February, March.
Some of like well, okay. Well, with the beats, yes. Like, but it's hard to tell because it's like I already have like certain hooks and certain like things that I already have in my catalog. So it's like I dip into those, and then some of it is new material. So.
Okay, and you had no features on the album, no Doms, no anybody, not just Doms, no anybody. What was the decision behind that?
there was no features on the last one, so.
Do you just not like features,
Well,
or?
it's not that I don't want features, but it's like I want people to get to know me, you know.
Okay.
Like I have the essence on like certain tracks that I've been on. I got to put my little spin on that, or I got to be a part of that. Like, you know, but this is where I chose to represent Kori Octoberr as the whole, you know. So, I definitely love being on Gems and Subliminal. That was definitely a blessing because it's like I never really had anybody who would really put me into the headspace of working on albums and like full-length projects and stuff like that because like you said, I only had 4 tracks on the last one. So with like Gems and Subliminal, it was definitely something different.
And that was Freaknik, right? You were on?
Mm-hmm.
So how'd that come about? Or how did you first link up to do the music together?
That happened, like the whole premise of the song, I think I like around that time, I was trying to define myself with Doms, like try to figure out who I was supposed to be or like how I was trying to come about the whole situation. And I didn't want to curse or anything like that, or I wanted to not say the N-word. I didn't want to be disrespectful. So it was just interesting that the whole concept of Freaknik is being outlandish and wild and nasty and whatnot. And so he definitely came through when it came to like writing that for me and like us coming together on that whole entire idea because it's like he was like, okay, I have this idea for a song, and I'm like, okay, well, this is my idea for the song. Like this is like I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. So then he was like, you know what? Okay, well, let me put it together. But do you want to say something about it?
Yeah, like
No, what?
yeah, nah, like the way like I guess like we put it together was dope. You know, I guess we kind of composed it in a type of concept where it's like you know how thirsty guys are basically whenever it comes to like functions and stuff like that or whatever. I'm basically the thirsty guy, and she's the woman that we should be respecting and stuff like that or whatever. So she just kind of hits me off with the game, like what I mean. So it's just like I kind of like how that song like came about, because even though it's like a fun and a wild song and stuff like that, it still has like a message kind of behind it or whatever. And it's like I feel like you still like learn something and you get the best of both worlds in that one song.
And then you guys obviously worked together again on Gems, and now here you are. And you mentioned you didn't want to like curse or use N-word or anything like that. And then even when I asked you for a clean version, you're like, oh, the whole album's clean. So is that just your idea, just make it clean off the rip? Like
yeah, if you like listen to it in itself, there's a lot of like it's not definitely.
But it's clean in the sense of like
no
in
curse
essence,
words,
well,
yeah.
what
Because
you think
I
like
don't know. I don't know. It kind of felt weird saying like like just cursing in general over and over again. Like even with the chorus for Swing Sets, that one was a little like because every single time I'm saying something. Yeah, exactly.
That one was my favorite.
That was your favorite?
That's my favorite one too.
I think that was my favorite too. I think that's when I played the second
It's
time.
a
Yeah.
vibe. I'm like, it's a vibe.
That one and the opening.
That one I definitely spoke to.
I would say Lights for me. Lights and damn, I might have to come back to you on that, but yeah.
So what was like for you to produce this album for her?
Different. Real different, because we just picking out the beats and she was like, give me the ones with the most bass. I was just like, huh? Like, how's that gonna work? Like, that's what I do. That's my bass. Like, I love doing bass, but I keep it, majority hip hop. So it was like cool to have like a singer/rapper on the thing. So it was just like, I've never worked with one. Now that I got the opportunity, I'm gonna take it. Found out she didn't curse or she wasn't provocative, disrespectful. I was like, all right, that's even more of a challenge, especially when it comes to the beats.
That's what I'm saying. It's a challenge. So like you felt like you grew from it.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, one of the beats, Rose Gold, that was one of my favorite beats. When she heard it, she was like, I want that one. I'm like, huh? Because when I made it and I was done, I'm like, I need somebody that can spit like real hip hop or like hip hop. But then when she was like, I want it, I'm like, take it. I want to see what you can do with it. Fuck it.
That's the one she closed the album out with.
Yep. So everything worked out the way it was supposed to be. So I'm just like, cool, fuck it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be cursing. Okay.
My fault.
I just caught it on like the third time. We're sitting here talking about her clean album with no curses, and Turtle's like boom, boom, boom.
My fault. It's
like, you good.
Like we're all human.
That's why I was glad that we collabed on this album, because and then she was like the yin and yang things. Was like, all right, come together. Yeah.
I mean, I still cuss in person, but it's just I wanted something that was radio friendly off the rip. Like I don't like that bleep noise. I don't. It's not my favorite.
You can expand more like with like less cursing.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Does it force you to be more creative to try to use?
Yes. Like, what was it? what was it? Delvin. I can like in the booth. I popped up with Delvin because I was just like, what am I gonna say with this
And
one?
peon.
Or what? Peon and Zilches
Yeah.
instead of saying the B word because I was just like, all right, that's not gonna fly. Drones instead of the H word. Like, you know, I was really trying not to cuss because I was just like, it doesn't need to be vulgar for the sake of being vulgar. Like, if you can make something that's clean and it's still a bop, it's still something that you can really like, even like, you know, you could still ride out to that one. You really could, you know. Oh, I was gonna say something, but that was
Cursing is just basically like a whole filler for like bars and stuff like that or whatever. Because it's like, of course, you could try to expand like your vocab and like reach out and use like a different type of word and term or something like that or whatever. But it's like people will try to like reach like for like a curse word to like kind of fill in the space and just kind of, you know,
or to
keep it going.
punctuate something.
Yeah.
So no filler songs, no filler words
Well,
for Code Orange.
yeah, because like it doesn't need to be a punctuation. You know, it doesn't have to be something that like you know, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't roll off the tongue for me. So I was just like, let's keep it kosher, and you know, who else is doing that? You know.
I feel you. And so Rose Gold was the name of the song, and then Rose Gold is the name of your label, or 'cause I saw the bottom it says released by Rose
Yeah.
Gold. So what is Rose Gold? Is it just you? Is it you three? Or
That's
is it?
no. We
No,
all
that's what I'm asking.
We
Yeah, I'm
all
just
are our
asking.
own entities, you know. No, of course. Well, like you know, it's my own thing. Like he has Rebels, I have Rose Gold. Like we've collaborated. That's
Okay.
why you hear him shout it out. You hear me shout it out. You
Yeah, I got
hear him
Turtle
work on
Mine,
it.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, Turtle Grove Productions. So.
so, yeah, no.
And who's on? Is it just you on Rose Gold?
Yeah,
okay, for
that's
now.
just me.
Okay,
yeah.
that's dope. So how'd you start that? Cause you released underneath that as so you're signed to yourself or?
That's just like to upload. I mean,
Oh, just upload.
to,
I'm just asking. I don't know.
I mean, I want to be my own businesswoman. So
Okay.
of course, like I'm not signing anybody as of now, but of course I want to represent myself. So that's the way to do it. You
Okay,
know?
where'd the name come from?
Rose gold everything. I love rose gold everything.
You got orange, you got green, you got gold. Like
Well, rose gold jewelry. I don't like gold. I don't like silver. I like. Well, I mean, my ring's gold, but either way, I don't know. I just like rose
It's just the
gold.
color you like.
It seems classic. It seems
Okay.
something that's not like, I don't know, Surf's Up Bros. Hopefully that's not copywritten, but you know, but it's not. I don't know. It's me.
Okay.
I had everything rose gold. I had my nails the same color of rose gold for like 2 years straight. It's rose gold everything. It's just me.
And I saw in your bio you sent me that you were in Tennessee for a little bit. So did that like influence your music style at all?
That's definitely where I started like recording myself and like having some type of like that's where I built my catalog. Like I wasn't releasing any music, but I was just making little tidbits here and there, and like I would be recording anywhere. It really didn't matter. So I just wanted to get something down so I could come back to it later and actually make something of it. And so that's what I'm doing now. That's why I'm putting out little bursts, because it's like I want to keep up with the now, and I also want to add in what I've already had. So so far it's been working.
Okay. And who are some of the artists that like inspire you or that you grew up listening to that kind of like you kind of molded your music or helped mold the way you make music?
I don't know. I have a weird concept. Like I try not to listen to music. I do. I'm not gonna lie. Like I do listen to music, but I don't try to. I just want to be me. So I'm trying to express what my older influences are, my old catalogs. That's pretty much what it is. I try to source from that above trying to source back from somebody else, because it's already been done. And I, you know, if you ask me if I could compare myself to somebody, I'd say I don't. What would you say? Like, you know.
No, I was saying like, you know, where you learn how to make your music, or maybe some like listen to certain albums inspired,
Where? What do you mean? Where did I make my like?
how you learn to sing or write music or put a song together.
It was me. Like that was one of our struggles, because I don't have the
Structure.
There you go. So it's like the way that I freestyle.
Why is Turtle laughing? Or he's trying not to laugh.
It was when we was recording it. I was like, because you know, basic when you record, it's hook, and then verse, hook, verse, or yeah. And then when we was recording it, she just did straight through. But me, I already knew like, all right, this is the hook, this is the verse, this is the bridge, this is what it is. But when she did it in a straight shot. So I'm just like,
Yeah, like
this is how you recording it? Yeah,
She
cool.
even-
I'm like, so when were you thinking when you were writing? She's like, I just did it. But I already knew that off of 40 Ounces, her intro song. When I listened to it, it's a vibe. It's not something you just like, I'm gonna try to break this down. It's just literally a vibe when you're listening to it, from intro to outro. Favorite song on that album, by the way. I keep saying that to her. I love that album. But yeah, so after going through all the songs, even Code Orange is just literally straight through. So she was able to like breath, like nothing, like everything was like almost one take. Well, it would have took us, but yeah.
Yeah, like she even sent me this one track that's not actually on Code Orange, and it's like a whole straight through too. And it's like even right into it, I'm like, yo, where do I even start? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, wait, like right here. Like, I'm like, do we start like right here, or like where do we start? But other than that, like, yeah, her thing is just like a whole straight through, like.
And that's how you've always been doing it?
Yeah. I didn't record against beats. Like, I'd be in, like, a factory or, like, in the drive-thru of, like, Arby's or some. Ooh, I almost cursed. But just walking down the, like, highway or something.
So you were singing
like
your order?
Well, no. Well, my coworkers did really hate me because, like, for the Hook of Lights, they were like, all right, move on. Like, what is after this? Like, we get it, you can sing, but, like, what is after this? And I'm just like, okay, I don't know. And I sat on that since, like, 2015, and here I am now. Like, so yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess that's how I've done it. But also, what was it? Swing Sets is one of the songs that was structured with three verses and 3 choruses. So that was something I made not made from scratch. The chorus I had, but then I made the verses completely for the album. So, like, I adapted to the structure of the beat. So I can do both. It's just whatever it calls for, or whatever I already have.
I actually love it because it makes it interesting because you don't know what comes next. You know what I mean? And it's not like a simplified song or a simplified album. Like, you literally don't know what comes next. And it's usually always some dope shit regardless. So that's my favorite part.
That's dope. And like, so if you just do it all in one take, like, it's just in your head? It's not written down nowhere?
No, well, I had to actually go back and start writing it so that I could post up my lyrics. 'Cause, like, I have some of this stuff memorized, so it's like, yeah. Like, I don't know.
And where do you come up with the concepts for your music and your songs? Or is it just, again, just comes to you?
Well, no, okay, so that was the whole point of 40 Ounces. I did a podcast on the Rebels podcast, or Rebels HQ podcast, with NK Rudy, and he pretty much, like, I guess did like a survey of what song was like the most like popping on that one, and pretty much 400 was the one that everybody really gravitated towards. So I was like, okay, let's make an album around it. Let's make that the concept, because that was the whole reason for 40 ounces in the first place, was just to put out a feeler, and whatever was embraced was what I was really gonna embrace, because why not? Every bit of those songs were a part of what I can do. So yeah.
And that's where we are now. So is there one song that you're pushing as a single?
I don't.
We didn't.
Oh, you haven't decided yet?
I mean, you played Swing Sets.
Well, you guys sent me 3 songs, so I was just like, I didn't know which one.
Like, I guess like between like kind of like the Lights and like Swing Sets or something like that.
I don't know. I think that it's gonna be Swing Sets probably, because that one's the most structured, and that one is the one that really makes you think.
Okay.
It got a lot of applause at the party too.
Oh, tell us about the party. So you had your listening sessioning at the studio, right?
DFG recording studio.
Yep.
Yeah. And how'd that go?
It was really nice. It was really like one of those kickbacks type feels that I had like back when I was in high school. So it was definitely, it was right. It was nice. It felt right. Like, we had like a whole punch situation, of like sangria and like oranges for the whole festivities. We like decorated like with lights and everything like that. It was nice.
Okay. And so at which point did you decide like, you're going to be able to make music as a career and going forward and keep making music? You know what I'm saying? Did you have like a certain moment that was like a light switch, like this is something I should keep making, keep doing?
Back when I was recording and I had potential, like I was risking my whole job. Like,
okay.
If they would have seen me, I would have gotten fired. Like, I'm supposed to be putting like little things into like stove backs. Like, I was making the lights come on. Like, no, like it's something it was like in me, because like I've always been around music. I've always like my uncle was a DJ for like with house music and whatever, and it's always been bass bumping from the time I can remember. So it's like it just was always a passion of mine. how I began to sing, I don't know. I just would never shut up. So that was something that came along with it.
And from your uncle, and you said the house music and the bass, is that why you went to him and was like, I like the song, the beats with the bass? Is that where you drew that?
Well, that was the whole mode of that one, but it could be a country song next time. It might be a sad song next time. Who know? You know, it might be like a whole opera song. I want to learn different languages so I can sing in those. Like, you never know. Like.
All right, so what do you got coming up next? Do you have any events coming up, shows coming up? Where can people see you at? Or is this still working, something in the plans?
Well, I'm still trying to get everything together. Like, I'm definitely going to have another event for my next coming project or whatever have you, because it was a good opportunity for people who haven't had their music played or haven't had an opportunity to gather their unreleased music and come to a space where everybody is an artist. Like, it was supposed to be a situation where everyone could network and be comfortable, and it was like I didn't expect to feel like I felt really good after the fact, because it was like I could see how much people actually appreciated to have that platform. And it's like somebody once gave me that platform, so I was like, you know what, I need to continue this. Like, I have to give it back to somebody else, because it's like who else is like out here really trying to get artists together like that, especially as like a female artist, you know? Not to, I don't see it, but I don't really look out there, so I might not know, so sorry. But I just wanted to do something different from what I know. So
So you find it more difficult being a female artist?
I wouldn't say that I find it more difficult, but the expectation and the just whole package in itself is a mold, you know? Like, I don't know. It shouldn't be different that I want to make a song that doesn't have any curse words, or an album that doesn't have any curse words. That shouldn't be taboo. That shouldn't be different. That, you know, where I'm trying to go outside of my comfort zone and like look up vocabulary words at like 3 a.m. to put them in the album or the EP, whatever, just so it's not something that's too outrageous. Like, I feel like, you know, twerkum songs and actually twerking in thongs is like the new, you know, the new normal, like the new go-to, instead of trying to at least find a little bit of grace in the whole rigmarole. I don't know. But I don't know. I wanted to do something different. I'm trying to, at least. But yeah.
The album came out pretty dope, but I got to wrap this up. So let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find the album, your Instagram, whatever social medias you got.
Well, it's on all platforms, and Kori Octoberr on Instagram, Kori Octoberr on Facebook, Kori Octoberr everywhere. And it's Kori Octoberr with 2 R's.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys coming on once again. We got Kori, Turtle. If they want to find Turtle, they can find you at?
Turtle_Grove on Instagram, Turtle_Grove on Twitter. Yeah.
And we got Mr. Gems,
Twitter?
Doms.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Did I cut you off?
No, you good.
Oh, she made like a motion.
I said, did he have Twitter? I don't tweet. I don't do those things. Sorry.
Twitter's the black hole. Don't go there.
Okay, I won't.
But no, just _King Doms on Instagram and Twitter. That's it.
You're so simple all the time. But once again, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us here on the Garden State Hip Hop Hour. This is Kori Octoberr. Go check out her album, Code Orange.
Yes.
All platforms. And we'll check you guys out next week.